Virgo, welcome to your weekly Astroflower reading going from the 27th to the 5th of March. We're going to be going into your chakras, your aura, and we're going to be doing a tarot reading at the end. I have done your monthly readings as well. March is going to be a magical month. It's going to be a funny month, and we're just stepping into it now. Let's just see what's going on with your chakras. So this is for Virgo. There we go. Lovely. Right. So there seems to be sort of fundamental stuff going on your relationship side. Repositioning about your requisites. No, that's not the right word, is it? Is your expectations, I think. That's what's sort of underneath the magnifying glass at the moment. Let's just see what's going on with your sacrum. You're still doing that sort of working hard or trying to work hard, running around, but not running around for you. That's what it appears to be like. It's not too bad, actually, to be honest, Virgo. I'm sorry about that. I'll take that back. It's not that bad, but it could be better. Let's put it like that. It could be better. So there is a little bit on the material world going on at the moment. Stuff to do. So, yeah, I'm just trying to see now. There we can go and get into it now. You've got to make your stand, I think, Virgo. You've got to put your flagpole in the ground. It's almost, go big or go home sort of scenario. Let's just see what's going on with your solar plexus. That is you're feeding a lot of passions into your heart, which is good. You're trying to sort of get your heart's desires. I can see you're doing good work. It's maybe that the outside world is not calibrated yet for what you're after, basically. Not in this week, anyway. Let's just see what's going on with the heart. There is socials, and this is there is social stuff, and it's coming to a point. Now, I've started to see this in some of the signs in the monthly reading. I think it was Gemini in particular. But here we've got like your heart chakra is building into a point. So it's almost as if you're being gradually gang pressed down a certain path. You're being sort of herded down a sort of path in a way. It's not herded in a nasty way. It's a good thing. Because you're gonna all of a sudden be able to put your finger on where that is you want to be, what you want to be doing, and it's gonna click. It's really gonna click. And this week here, I think there's a certain degree of putting your flagpole in the ground. I think that's what this week is all about. To give you a point of reference, almost not just a point of reference within yourself, but within the world around you. Because the solar plexus there, it's got a lot of potential, but it needs organisation. It needs to, you need to put a flagpole in the ground. I keep coming back to that. Why is that? You need to put obviously you're planting a flag or something, or you got a flagpole just outside your house, or you're watching this. This could well be for you. That, it's leaving your mark, basically, stamping on your mark, basically. And you've got to do this for you, really. The third eye and the throat chakra is really nice. There's not a lot of problems with that. It's actually really well balanced. Therefore, it's going to be quite a lot of logical sort of thinking going on. I think you've got this, Virgo. I really do. It's just that there seems to be a lot of noise around you that you can't be heard in a way. That's what it seems like. Let's see what's going on in your crown chakra. That's well defined as well. So there is this consciousness that this is the shape and this is how I want it, sort of thing that's running through you. As I said, in March, things are going to start clicking into place, and there's going to be a new type of logic that seems to be in the air that people grasp on. Not everyone's going to grasp on it. But I think you know, if you're watching this, it seems like you've grasped on it. You certainly seems to be, you're in place. And it might be a little bit of patience at the moment, but in the meantime, I think it'll be good to sort of just say to people around you, this is who I am and this is what I want out of life. If you're trying to start a business, or you're trying to start a project, or you're trying to, get a job and etc., you've got to put yourself forward here in that respect. In relationship side, there's definitely a lot of socializing going on. This is what I think there's a lot of noise around you. You seem to be active in that sort of sense. There's nothing really standing out though within your chakras that signifies a like a love entanglement or a love relationship sort of scenario here. It could well be. There could well be, because your heart is really pointing, and it's normally the top petal that sort of comes out at the front. That's sort of like, it almost like it's out there, sort of testing and feeling and stuff like that. The internet connection between you and another person. But because the whole heart chakra is really starting to point into a teardrop sort of shape, it may be covering it up, and that may be the noise that's in the background that's not allowing you to have this relationship. And it might be a little bit frustrating for you, because it's not allowing your solar plexus to fire on all cylinders. But there is a case of just putting your flagstone in the, your flagpole in the ground, sticking your mark in the ground. That's what I mean. And that comes back to that root chakra on the right hand side as well. On your right hand side, this is where there's a reassessment of your what did I say? It was expectations in regards to relationships. That's what seems to be coming up in this sort of scenario. It may be a week here. We'll see in the tarots, because we've got the tarots coming up afterwards. It's all time stamped in the description below. And I think in the tarots, I think you'll find that there's a slight misfiring almost with your synchronicity with the world around you. And I don't think, as I said, I don't think it comes from you, but it's a reevaluation on the things that you sort of have got expectations of how you want the relationship to be. So a reassessment week. Not necessarily on yourself. It's more on the reassessment of how you allow the exterior world to interconnect with you, basically, more than anything else. I don't think you're doing much wrong here, Virgo. I really don't. And I think you're getting a bit of because you're trying hard. Sometimes you shouldn't try so hard to try and do everything. And when you don't try so hard, then life gives you a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a help in the hand, as it were. So, I would, in your meditation, just evaluate how you are interconnecting, and if you look over the day and sort of see when it was working well, what sort of things were working well, where you felt like you were in a good rhythm, and then other parts of the day where you kind of thought, oh no, I was out of sync there, I missed that parking space, I did. Little things really, but they are annoying. It's like sand in the gearbox. It's not going to help, is it? You're going to be grinding gears, really. Let's just have a look, see what's going on in your aura. It's mainly in the middle of the week. I think, really, we're talking Wednesday. Wednesday seems to be a moment where you kind of a decision needs to be made, I think, and we're going to be looking at probably around about, I think, petals 5, 7, 8 and 9, where your guides are interjecting with you, and this is where we find the synchronicities of life, and this is how the guides can really sort of help us, but in general your aura is really quite nice. I think you've got this, Virgo, and I think you just need to be a little bit patient this coming week. And it's sometimes you just need to sit back and let the world do a turn, and I think this will help you enormously. to realize how to push, when not to push. And constantly pushing all the time is going to tire you out. It's going to make you frustrated about your dreams, make you feel like you're not getting what you want out of your relationships with the people that are around you. So yeah, let's just get a flow. Let's see what's going on the flow of that energy. It is feeding more the root chakra than anything else. It's not particularly vibrant. So it is trying to encourage you to slow down a bit. Put things into context or into stock, as it were. Okay, there you go. That's the aura and the chakra. Let's just see how it plays out in the tarots. This is the overall energies, the karmic mission for your relationship side, or the karmic message. That's your financial side. Influence from the universe. These are the influence from your guides on the super subconscious level. Influence from the guides of the conversation, and the top one is about what's going on in the near future, in the following from the week, how things are flowing out of you at the moment. So let's just see what's going on the overall energy in you. This is exactly what I feel. You're getting this. You're firing off all these cups all over the place. That's what I feel like. And what's happening is over this week, you're going to start realizing that you can take aim rather than just firing them off. I think these gifts are coming from you, actually, for the rest of the world. The rest of the world should feel lucky to have you about, I think, at the moment. But it's lacking direction. It's lacking it's lacking that cible, the target. You got to get your eyes, on the target. You got to get them in the crosshair. Your goals into the crosshair, and you got to focus it a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more sort of solar plexus within your energies. But it's definitely a beautiful energy within you. Yes, there is no doubt about it. Just don't be disappointed if the outside world doesn't get it, because the outside world is changing this month, and it's going into a completely different way. In the relationship side as well, there is a lot of passion, obviously. Is this not the wounded knight? I think it is. But at the same time, it's the rhythm inside you is burning to go on, and you've got that sociable aspect to you. And I think this is where they're asking you to sort of concentrate your rhythm. Rather than being a jazz drummer, a free-form jazz drummer, I love jazz, but a free-form jazz drummer, go into something that's a little bit more sort of almost meditative, and maybe doing a bit of that, listening to a bit of drum music will be really good for you. Get you sort of worked up into your solar plexus, because this is where we got it. We got the heart here, and we got the solar plexus here. This is the two that's giving a real sort of rhythm to the life. This is the combination between the heart and the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is not firing on all cylinders at the moment for you, Virgo. That's probably the missing piece of the puzzle. Let's just see what the universe is trying to offer you. I think there is love on the horizon, and I do think it's around you already. I'm not sure you can see it for the noise that is around you. There's possibly too many things going on and interfering. And the universe here is trying to sort of say, there is that needle in the haystack. And it is sometimes like looking for a needle in a haystack. But at the same time, if you remain in your logic, in your good logic, because you've got it at the moment and you know where you're going, you know what you want and stuff like that, I think this person is just going to just come to the surface for you. And it's going to be really obvious. And that's what the universe is trying to do here. Trying to open that sort of thing. We got the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is the Harbour Master. The Harbour Master allows things to come to them. They allow boats to come into their harbour, and they sort of kind of going, yes, you're more than welcome to come in. You can park that over there. What goods do you have? Just being a bit of making sure everything's sort of running smoothly, but also making sure that things go out correctly. And it is a little bit about timing as well, working with the tides, as it were. And the tides of energy, this is what you've got to, I think, in this process here, And this is what we were talking about, these two petals here. I think this is where it's going to play out the most. And this petal here is learning about that timing aspect and allowing that love to just come into your life rather than actually, you know, sort of saying, this is what I want, I'm going to go out and get it, go out and get it, go and get it. No, I think this is the case here of just allowing it to come into your life. When you do, this is all of a sudden, you know, you're going to find yourself moving up a gear in the way of beautiful sensations and a great connection with someone. It's as if like, this is it. I'm finding my eternal love, which I can then combine with somebody else's eternal love. I'm not 100% sure that they actually turn up this week. I don't think it is a case of that. I think it's more of a case that you've got to realize a few things inside you about your expectations, about allowing things to happen for you, and just realize that there is the changing logic in the world around you. And you do have to stamp your mark down. But I'm not sure it is stamping your mark down was necessarily within your relationships. I think it's more within your financial side. So let's just have a quick look at that. Let's see what's going on that sort of side of things. Here's your karmic message for this sort of side. The devil, he's offering the light. He's trying to show you the path. And the devil has got to, you know, the devil's not going to lie to you, right? But what he will do is he will offer you lots of paths, and some of those paths may not be fortuitous. And that's where we fall into our own, our own sort of temptations, basically. And this is what is all about, the evident path and seeing what is evident that you should be doing. It's not a choice, it's evident. And therefore, the devil there will just illuminate the most evident path for you, or help you to see it, the most righteous path. And I think that's what you've got to do within your workspace, is stamping down on that. Is literally stamping down on that. And it's going to come in quickly. The moment you put your flag in the ground, the moment you sort of say, and here I am, and this is what I do, and this is what I want, all of a sudden, things are going to go like a set of dominoes that go down, and everything's going to start changing for you. Six of Pentacles. This is where the guides are coming in again. So Six of Pentacles is about fair exchange, but also investing in what you foresee to be the most fortuitous path for you. Because the Six of Pentacles, normally they're giving four pentacles to one, and 3 pentacles to one, and 2 to the other, and keeping 1 pentacle for themselves, as it were. And this is that whole sort of like, it is a fair exchange, but it is also based upon judgment. And if you sort of like judge in your favour, I think, and if you put your flag in the ground, all of a sudden you're going to realise you're going to get back a lot more than what you anticipated for within your workspace. And this whole sort of thing is the timing of allowing things to happen. This is that decision, I think, is over here on this side. And that decision is basically you've got to open up your eyes and see things a lot more wider scope to the thing than what is available, by actually sort of realizing that evident path. And when you see that evident path, then you're just going to start going towards it, and there'll be no choices for you to make, and you'll be causing a lot less stress and strain for yourself, basically. I think, and allow things to happen. That comes back into that, is allowing things to happen for you. Let's just see what's going on the outcome. This is where your fruit starts coming in. There is a choice that needs to be made, and sometimes, as I said, you're giving 3 to one and 2 to the other, and you're keeping 1 yourself. It is a choice that you make in order to invest in your life. And that choice has to be made by you. No one else can make it. And it starts by putting your flag in the ground. marking your spot, basically, within the material world. The relationship side, that's definitely coming up in the future. I don't think it's this week, but I think there's realizations within you this week that's going to sort of lead you on to sort of much happier environment in the future going forward. So there you go, Virgo. That was your weekly reading. Thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate your support on this channel, subscribing and clicking that bell and all of that malarkey. We have done the monthly readings as well. You'll have your monthly reading that came out, and also the collective reading that came out. So you'll find that linked around my head at some point. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.